Let's Drive by Dodge Neon Racing. Well, right now I'm driving through Pigeon Forge in Tennessee. It's only 7:08 p.m. on the 25th of February, and it's rain slick roads. It's just been pretty much rain for the past few days. Supposed to get snow. We had some flakes, but didn't really do anything. So sitting on the parkway here, and all I can say is it's pretty hectic with all these stop and go traffic lights. You can only imagine everything during tourist season. It's pretty much stop traffic. Ain't much going on. You ain't getting nowhere, especially coming into Pigeon Forge, heading to Gatlinburg or to the Smokies to go to Cage Cove, or you're on your way to Cherokee, North Carolina, go out to the casino. This is actually a pretty good route, taking the Parkway down to 441 and just taking that all the way through the Smokies and eventually pop right out to Cherokee, North Carolina. And if you ever do that, stop at the Dairy Queen, because it's right in town and not too far from the casino, and get yourself something to eat and a blizzard. We'll tell you that the store's pretty much ran by Cherokee Indians, and the town's pretty much population of Cherokee Indians, so you'll also have a lot of native shops to go to if you're into that. But also in Pigeon Forge, there's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of places to eat, hotel, motels to stay at, tourist towns. A little bit up here from Sugar Hollow Road, at Traffic Light 1, you have the Hollywood Wax Museum. And I'll be honest, I've never been there. But you have a lot of good places to go, a lot of theaters. They just built recently a new cinema in Sevierville. But another thing, as I pass here, I'm passing Mountain Valley Winery. Now, a good thing about that, you can go on a wine tasting tour and actually taste some wine. They have a winery in Kodak, one in Pigeon Forge, one in Sevierville. Actually, I think there's two in Pigeon Forge. There's the Apple Barn Winery, and then you have one in Gatlinburg. So if you go to all five, make sure you get the card and get it stamped at each one you visit, because you'll actually get gifts. You get wine glasses sometimes. Sometimes they give out wine bottle corks. It just depends on what the type of year. But I've done it twice, and I've gotten no stem glasses, thin stem wine glasses. Got some pretty nice stuff. Also, you can get a nice bottle of wine that you like, pretty reasonable price. If you're not into wine, while you're down here, you can also go to our moonshine places. We have quite a few of those. We also have whiskey tasting in Pigeon Forge and also in Gatlinburg. So you can't really get bored if you're coming down here. You can check a lot of things out. Oh, there goes one of my hated vehicles, the Honda Civic with the fart cans. I don't think there's any style muffler that makes a Honda Civic sound good. At least with Neons, you can put some good mufflers on them, and you know they sound pretty good. Honda Civics almost kind of remind me of Mazda Fiatas at the racetrack, sounding like a bunch of fart cans and bumblebees just buzzing around the track, which is loud, obnoxious, and annoying. I know a lot of people love their VTECs, but I will honestly say I owned a Civic, had a VTEC, and that car was junk. I own a little 2000 ES basic 2.0 non-turbo Neon, and basically, all in all, he wanted to play muffler, so I gave him some sound. But all in all, you have to wait for the VTEC to show up. But my 16 valve single overhead cam, I don't gotta wait on my 16 valves to pump in. They just automatically do. So I love that. I want response now. I don't want to have to wait like the excuses I've heard. I have to get up to 40 miles an hour, my turbo don't kick in, or my VTEC don't kick in till I get up about 60. And I just look at them and say, well, my 16 valves kick in as soon as I punch the pedal. You know, that goes for, you know, anybody that owns a Mustang or Porsche, or, you know, or a turbo Neon. I mean, an SRT, an ACR. I mean, come on now. We don't have to wait for our boost. We get it now. We get it when we need it. We don't. It's not that. Oh, let's go here. Let's go here race here for a second here, and you know, you got to give me some time, because my stuff don't really work until I get to a certain speed. But I will say this much: the fellows on Mighty Car Mods, they've done some really amazing things to vehicles that you would never ever see ever in the limelight of street cars. I'm not a cop. Just because my car is black and white doesn't mean I'm a cop. So get going. I get a lot of that. I don't know why I'm driving a Neon. They drive Crown Vics or Impalas or Chargers. Not many cop cars have been Neons, but I've had a lot of people see me coming and they just immediately slow down and they won't go over the speed limit. It's real funny, but that's what you get with a lot of out-of-state folk, not knowing the difference. They're not paying attention to their surroundings, glued to their phone. It's just, it's nuts. But beyond that, let's see here. Now there's two ways if you're exiting, coming from Pigeon Forge and you're trying to get to 40. There's pretty much two ways to get there. You can either follow these signs here and continue straight, or you can go this way, which it's quite amazing how many people don't do this. I see more locals going this way than I see out-of-towners, people from other states or other people from Tennessee that's not familiar with the area. But you can take that turn here, which, as you can see, not a lot of traffic. And it's kind of that way also, but coming into town, that side of the road can get pretty hectic. And you know, some locals might get quite upset that I'm telling you all this, but for the ease of traffic and the safety of others, I would say pretty much let's use all the roads we can use, and let's just be friendly on the road, because, you know, I have a wife to go home to, and I'm not trying to drive through here and get in a fatal accident, or, you know, I only have one car, and I'm not trying to figure out how I'm going to drive to work from Knoxville all the way to Pigeon Forge. I mean, come on now. Watch what you're doing on the road. But you come up to this, which is light 15.6, and you'll continue straight here. The guy behind me got some bright lights. Let's flip my night vision on my mirror, rearview mirror here. Mercy. Wish my side view mirror is tinted when bright lights like that come up. Kind of blinding. But red lights, you gotta love them. Careful at this intersection. Careful at any intersection when you come into town. Especially up by Tanger Outlet and Walmart on the Parkway. Watch it. I mean, if you're coming into town and you want to go to Tanger, there's no need for you to be in the far left lane. You need to be in the far right lane. Because I've seen count, I don't know, I can count on my fingers and toes the amount of accidents, fatal accidents, almost fatal, made it by the grace of God, accidents at the intersection of Walmart, Collier Drive, and Parkway on the way to Tanger. Because people aren't paying attention to the lights. They're gawking off at the side. There's not much to see right in that area. Some gas stations. I mean, if you've never seen a Pilot or a Marathon before, I mean, I don't know what state you live in, but honestly, if you're driving, you need to keep your eyes on the road. You need to be paying attention where you're going. Because number one, it's a smart thing to do. You want to gawk, have your passenger switch with you. Let them drive for a while. That way you both get to look around and see what's around you. And talking about, you know, gawking at GPS and getting lost. I will say Navi USA, which is available on Android and iPhone. I think it's spelled Navmii. I'll put a link in the description of this video for it. It's free. I mean, you can pay for some certain features, but it's free. And I will tell you a benefit about this Wi-Fi, this GPS is number one. You don't have to use data or cellular service to get your directions. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Really, the only time you need to use data or a Wi-Fi connection is when you're starting off on your destination. So for an example, I want to go to Savannah, Georgia for my honeymoon, because I'm getting married in a couple Saturdays. So basically, I want to go to Savannah, Georgia. Unless I've already pre-put in the date, not the date, excuse me. Sometimes I'll be driving, pay attention to what I'm doing on the road than what I'm saying, and I'll slip off with something that makes no sense. But basically, so I'm going to Savannah, Georgia. Let me just say that. I'm going to a certain place. Let's just use McDonald's as an example, and let's just say it's on 5th Street. So that's going to be my destination in Savannah. So I'll enter the address into the GPS. I will start my travel. I'll get it going like it's actually like I'm going there, but I'm not. I still got a while before I go. So it's stored into my recent places. So if you have a lot of destinations you go to, but you don't really remember how to get there because you don't go there a lot, you can store these in your recent destinations. And then it doesn't matter if you're connected to data or Wi-Fi at all. You can click on your recent destination and it will automatically track your route for you, and it won't have to search for a route pattern because the app stores everything in there and it remembers your route pattern. So that's one thing I like about it. And also it doesn't have a lot of the glitches as like Copilot navigation. I had that for my phone. It's kind of the same boat. You don't have to use data or cellular service. But for best results with it, you should. See, and I've tried this GPS out that I have for about 3 years now, and it's done me good. It's gotten me where I needed to go. It doesn't take me on some Amazon side quest out in the middle of nowhere on a highway that doesn't exist anymore. I had that happen with Copilot. It took me, I was going on State Route 40, and it took me on the State Route 40 on a part that never used to be there. It hasn't been there in years. It pretty much got moved over about a couple blocks, and that part of 40 was actually turned into a residential street. And then when I tried to do a roundabout, basically turn around and have it recalculate, it wouldn't give me any other way but there. What I like about this GPS that I use is I can turn left on the wrong street, and if there's a way to get me back on course, it will route me back on course. And it does this even without data service or cellular service. The only thing you need to have on is GPS. And to my mind, GPS works off GPS. It doesn't eat up your data. It doesn't use your cellular service. It uses GPS. To me, that's GPS. So that's a little tidbit. Go ahead, give it a try. Try it out. It also has driver's competition. It tells you how you're doing driving. You can sign it up with a Facebook account, and it will give you a driving score. It'll tell you how you're doing on acceleration, braking, and all that. You can also see other users that's using the app around the state, around the United States. So, and that's a good thing. Basically, you know, let's drive in my Dodge Neon. Yeah, right, semi-guy. Well, sorry there for the cutoff. Kind of getting one tailgated by a semi, and then two, somebody tried to call me. This is a construction zone. The speed limit is 35 miles an hour. Not, well, I'm going 45. But, oh, there's a cop. So let's everybody slow down real quick. Real funny. I just kept going 45 because it's not like he couldn't clock me from where he was sitting. I mean, come on, people. Cops can clock you from the front of the car, from the rear of the car. I mean, they can do it from pretty much any angle with the technology they have these days. They don't have to be standing out there with a radar gun. So, and I've learned that experience, getting pulled over from a cop pointing a totally different direction, thinking he couldn't get me. Sure enough, he got me. He knew what I was doing coming up on him, not when I passed him. Because when I passed him, I was doing the speed limit. I was speeding before I got to him. So if you're worried about getting a ticket, don't speed. But beyond that, it's really crazy sometimes out on these roads, especially down here. It can get nerve-wracking, you know, and I'm kind of starting this Let's Drive series where I just drive certain parts down here, just talk, because, you know, gotta ramble on to somebody about stuff, because if you don't pass on some information, you know, and some, you know, better ways of doing things and make everything safe for everybody. I mean, who does it really benefit? You? You're the only one driving safe on the road. Who's really being safe? You're actually more of a hazard, because you're driving safe, everybody's driving reckless. You're the one that's actually being safe is going to get probably hit and injured because everybody's reckless. So, best advice I've ever been told by a highway state patrol officer: go with the flow of traffic. You're safer that way. So that's what I do at times, and then at other times, if I'm the only one on the road, I'll pretty much, you know, just behave myself. I do like to hot rod it sometimes, but I do that safely too. I'm not going to be dumb about it, because that's just idiotic. Here, let's go racing on a busy highway, or let's go racing on a congested street. Wonder what kind of hazard that is.